back in the days of old, when buildings are put up, they weren't put up with, as we do today, sand and cement, they were put up with lime mortar. Now that is lime mortar. Now this particular batch of lime mortar is made with a hydraulic lime, a hydrated lime, sorry, which won't set. The only way you can get it to set is adding something to it, like cement, for example. Now the reason I'm using that in here is because this is just a demonstration wall. We can remove it at a later date and just very easily clean all the bricks off. We'll also use this little bit of a wall to give our apprentice a bit of a lesson in line pointing. So, nice big trowelful on your ground, like so, for that first course. Like so. First brick. Have a look at the side that's nicest, I suppose. Put it down, steady her up. We'll get the level out in a minute. Pick your next brick. You will do your perps. Put your mortar onto your perps, like so. Put it to the next brick. Now, always make sure that them perps are full from front to back. Because at the end of the day, they're what hold the bricks together. So again, get your brick, do your perp, and pop it down. So then what we want to find the level, which is somewhere near. Level. Put it onto the top of the bricks. Just check it, give it a bit of a tap down. So that bubble comes to the middle. Put it across the face of the brick, move more to the level, so you know that the bricks are in a nice straight line. Check your level again. Yep, we're happy with that. Now, in a minute or two, when we've got a few more course on there, we'll check out the plumb rather than level. A little bit difficult to do now. I can put the little level on it, but it's still, with these old bricks, it's a bit unpredictable. So what we need next, we need a hammer. We need a brick. We get a brick. There we go. So we've got a half. Now, a nice way to do it, to get a nice finish, if you're doing, say, a cavity wall, is to put your cut to the inside. That way you get that nice, clean, perfect edge for your end. So again, some stuff on the trowel. It's very easy trying to get out of a bucket, but I don't have the spot boards here, they're all out on the job with Dave the bricklayer. Put some on. Get our brick. Of course we don't need to do the perk because we're not going to brick yet. Put that on there. Now we want about 15mm joint on it there. Should be fairly straight. Right, so that's your half on. What we do now is run out some more mortar. You don't want to run out too much because the bricks are quite dry. And it is lime, and lime will suck that water in for England, as it does. We run it to the end because we're only going that far. And again, check the brake. You want the nicer side to the face, which will be that one. These are all salvage bricks, they're not the best in the world. And again, place it on, making sure that that perp there is full front to back, top to bottom. Just give her a little clean up there like that. Again, check your brake. As you can see, that one has got a big hole in it. You don't really want that face. Bit of a crack in it, but again, it's only a demonstration wall, so we're not too bothered. Perps on, make sure it's full. A little tap down, which is slightly high there on the bed. then we want the other half, the remaining half, for the other end. Just give it a little clean there, and that should fit nice now on the end there. Again, because you're going to brick, unlike the first half, you need to do the perp. And on she goes there. Like so. Move that one up a little bit, just to even them perps up a bit so it looks a bit neater. Keep that one tap down, still a little bit high there, that one. The important thing is when laying bricks is these perps, perpendicular joints, when we put that next course on, the perps want to be lining up those perps there each time, all the way up. If you don't, it'll look uneven, it'll look awful, a terrible bit of brickwork. So again, get the old level, put the level on, a little bit of a bump on the end of that one, so we'll just give it a tap down. And that's nice and level there now. Again, put the level on the face, just bring them all to. Not the easiest brick to lay because they are all misshaped and not very good bricks, but they are a rough common. Probably used for internal works in the day. Again, put the bed on, like so. Making sure you've not got too much on the back edge there. Keep it clean, front and back. Now this sand that we're using today is the remnants of the sand we were using for sandblasting over the weekend, because I didn't want to have to drive miles to go and get some of the blast medium. I just went and got some kiln dried sand from my local branch of Gibson's, and it actually worked very well. So again, we don't do the perp because it's going to the end. So we place her on, making sure that end there is fairly straight. What you'll be doing, you'll be putting your level, plumbing it as you go. However, we're not too bothered today on that one. It is just a demonstration. That's all we're doing. Nobody's going to be fitting doors or windows or sitting roofs on it or anything like that. So we don't need to be all that precise, because it will be coming down. Right, again, your perp there. I like to give it a little bit of a flat. And then in she goes. Now we know from the last course that those perps, they don't want to be too big, they don't want to be too small, so we get 2 bricks on the end there. In a moment we'll plumb her up once we've got this course finished. Again, if you look at your brick face, a bit rough that side, flip around, it's not too bad on the other. And on she goes. Give her a little tap down, because you can see by the thickness of the joint running through, it's slightly high at this end. And we can determine that without the level. So we also do put level back on, just to double check. Yep, and it's on level there. And you can use your big level, make sure the bottom's tucked in, or actually plumb there. Slightly out of balance, so we'll just tip her, and she's in there. And there is plumb. What you can do is you can put your level from corner to corner, a bit awkward to do with a little wall, and you can see any bricks that are just slightly out, just pushing back. That's not bad at all, actually. That's not bad at all. Right, so we're back to the halves now to create the 2 ends. So again, a good strike, 3 times, flip around, and she breaks. Nice and easy. No saws needed, nothing. Nice, easy way to cut an old common brick. Again, get our beds on. We'll bed our half first and then run the bed out. It's not got a very good end on it, that one, so I think what we'll do, we'll use this one and then we'll trim the other one to size so we've got a decent face. And she's back slightly, so bring it forward, cut that mortar off, have a look, yep, that's fine, we're happy with that. So we can run out the next bed. Again, keeping the back clean, because if this was a cavity wall, you don't want all of the mortar dropping down and blocking that cavity. Keep it nice and clean all the way through. Block cavities creates damp, remember. Okay, so bit of a mucky brick, this one. Again, first, little flatten, put her on, squeeze it up, make sure that first full, tiny little top down and wipe off. Give her a wipe off. Now you see the perpendicular joints, that one is perfectly in line with that, and that joint will be perfectly in line with that. And that's the way you do it. It doesn't matter how long, how high your wall is, you always line your perps. Very important. Next, perp, flip flat off, get that joint full. Empty joints, weak joints. Tap it down ever so slightly, over it clean, make sure that back's clean. And this one, as we said, it's got a nasty end to it, so what we'll do is we'll choose the better face, which is that. In fact, that one we'll get rid of because it's not got a decent face anywhere on it. So 3 strikes, 1, 2, 3, flip around, 1, and there's your half. Cut for you, ready to go. Rough edge to the wall. So we want a little bit of mortar on this one, form the perp, and on she goes. Just tap her up, keep that end nice. Clean her off, and next we want the level. On she goes, a little bit height in the centre. Little tap down there, nice and gently. You don't want it going too far. There's only a couple of mil out. And again, we'll check, see how plumb we are. Just a little tap. And a little tap at that end. Check that end. And that's just out ever so slightly there. And that's nice, plumb and level. So what we'll do now, we'll put on another course. But this next course, we're going to do what is known as Flemish bond. But it's a semi-Flemish bond. And the reason it's semi-Flemish bond is because normally on a Flemish bond you'd have a 9-inch wall, so you'd be using full bricks rather than halves, which will become obvious in a moment. So we start off with our mortar, making sure it's going right to the end, making sure the back's clear. A little bit more, and then we'll get our first brick on, get her set, and then we can follow the rest. So, nice face, bad face, flip round, nice face. On she goes. A little bit of a wiggle in there, looking rather nice. Clean her off. Now with a Flemish bond, what we do now is we'd have a half next. So, again, perp, in she goes, like so. Want a bit more bed. Making sure that the whole of the bed is covered. It's not on too thick. You want it just above the depth of what you want your beds. Now I like my beds about 15mm on this particular type of brick. So you probably do about 16, 17mm with this particular mortar, and then just tap them down to it. Again, perp on the end, good clean, and on she goes. Little tap down because we can see visually that the bed's running up ever so slightly. And again, because we're a Flemish bond, we need another half. So 1, 2, 3, flip around, 1, 2. There we go, there's your half, nice and easy. So again, we need to do the perp. Make sure that there's enough mortar on to give you that nice 15mm joint. And we give her a little tap. Put the level on again. Give her a little tap down so it'll hang on the end again. It is the particular type of brick that we're using. They're not very uniform, so you do tend to go up and down a bit with your level. Now, as you can see, because it's a Flemish bond, we've got a double perp joint here and here. Now, what you normally use this for, you need to do the whole wall in Flemish bond, which again would be, you know, a full brick going that way, and then full brick going that way, or two full bricks side by side. That's how you do a Flemish bond. This is just a demonstration only. Next, another bed. I think this will be our final course. Cleaning that back as you go. Again, remember, don't fill your cavity with mortar. Keep it nice and clean. So we have our first half, which we'll trim one down because it has a bad end. So now, let's trim a bit more off that actually. So now we'll set that first half on, rough end, go in to the inside, clean end to the outside. Pop her on there like so, give it a little clean off, just tuck around, you can see sticking out there. Next one again, get your perp on. Not too much, not too little, just enough to form the joint. On she goes. Give her a little tap down. Give her a bit of a wipe off. Make sure she's not leaning back. Again, you want to be starting to line up your perps again because we're not doing the Flemish bond. So this perp here needs to be following that one, not that. Onto your end of your brick and onto your wall. Now, as you can see, because we did a Flemish bond for demonstration only, guys, we're ending up with brick on brick. This is something that you wouldn't really be doing if you were building this wall for any particular purpose apart from demonstration. Again, this one's a bit of a damaged brick, but I think because it's the last one and we don't want to waste another brick, we'll put that on there just to finish it off. But then we want the level on again, and we'll check a little bit of a ride in it there, so just want to tap it down there, ever so slightly, try again, and we'll level there, we'll level there. Check off one again, this one's rocking back a little bit, it's starting to lean forward now basically because of what we sat it on, it's just starting to pop over a bit. But again, it's for demonstration only, it won't be remaining. Right, so on your last course, a little bit on your trowel, and just fill out the tops of them perps, just so we know that they're nice and full, you can pass. And that's the wall built. So what do we do next? Well, next, all these joints need to be pointed. So the way that we like to do it is we use one of these, if we get it out of the box, which is a tuck trowel. Now some of the chaps who do work, they like to use one of those, a jointing trowel. Now a jointing trowel will give you a semi-round, like so. And your tuck trowel will give you a nice flat joint to the brick face, which is what I prefer, and to be quite honest with you, that's all we do when we're doing the heritage pointing. We never use the brick jointers. The reason we have a brick jointer is when we're doing stonework refacing and we need to do a semi-round inset. Very handy for it. We also have that homemade gadget, which we use for doing the semi-round external. Right, so what you need your little, as I call it, handboard, but some like to call it a pointing board. And we get a little bit of mortar onto it. And we then start to wipe it into our joints. Like so. Now I prefer to do the perps first. So when we're doing a re-pointing job in line, which we don't do cement, we do line. So when we're doing a re-pointing job, we tend to do 1 metre roughly of the perps and then run in the rest of it. But for demonstration purposes only, we'll just do a couple of perps so you can see how it's done. You've got to have good eye-hand coordination, a non-shaky hand, and really an aptitude to be neat and tidy with your work. Now there's several ways when line pointing you can finish. There's different designs, different methods, depending on what it is. If it's a grade 1 listed structure and the original brickwork was, say for example Tudor, I'd be inclined to put it in and then strike it off with a churning brush. If it was late Victorian or Edwardian, we'd probably do what we're doing now. There is also different styles and methods. We've got bird beak, which is a finish, which is like almost like a little triangle set in the joint. And then you have penny roll. Now where we are, our local area, or the northwest, I've never come across the bird beak, but we do get quite a bit of penny roll tuck, which I shall demonstrate once I've run a couple of these joints out. Now, any bricklayers that may have tuned into our channel and are watching this and sat there going, oh, I don't do it like that and I don't do this. Well, what you've got to ask yourself is, do you actually do heritage masonry using traditional, natural line products? And if the answer to that is no, I don't, well, either don't say it's wrong, or find yourself a nice course to learn how to do masonry, brick and stone restoration, because it's a skill that is needed in this country, and there's not many people do it. I mean, we, as I've said in previous videos, we undertake line plastering because I am actually a qualified time server doing it for years plastering. So I do quite a bit of line plastering. I do employ a bricklayer who does all this kind of work for me, so I'm not cheating in any way, shape or form. Although I do a lot of the pointing and brickwork alongside our bricklayer Dave. As you can see, I can chuck the odd brick down, and by no means would I attempt to go and build you a nice 5-bedroom semi-detached new house, and I don't think I have the skill and ability to undertake that. Although I could one out, which we are actually in the process of doing something at the minute, or my son and the rest of the team have been doing. Although my son's on that today. I'm supposed to be on another job, but it's raining, so I can't. So that's basically how you joint it in. So for demonstration purposes, again, I shall show you a couple of different methods of finishing your line pointing. I've got to confess that this is hydrated lime, as I said earlier, and it's not like using the quick lime that we're used to. It doesn't play the same, although it's a nice mix, you know, but it just doesn't, it's not sticky and it's not as smooth and it's not as easy to work. It's a bit like using a semi-dead cement mortar. Right, so that's how you put your mortar in. Now we have this implement known as a churning brush, and the churning brush is for striking back. So what you do is this, I mean it's probably still soft, but you press your thumbnail into it, and if your thumbnail just makes a little mark in it with quite a bit of pressure, you can then start applying the churning brush. And the reason the churning brush is to compact that mortar. It also opens the face of the mortar up, which gives it more breathability, allows water to come in and go out again. This is how you use the churning brush. And you obviously do your perpendicular joints too. Now I like to do that, and then I leave it for a short while, and then I get the soft brush. Again, it's probably a little bit too wet to do, but we are just demonstrating here. Get the soft brush, I just like to give it a quick wipe over. Now as you can see, it's giving it like a little pitted-y, textury kind of finish, which on these older walls looks great, to be quite honest with you. We've done quite a few buildings that way, we've done churches that way, country houses, all sorts of things, and it is a nice finish. Now the other method that we get a lot of is the old penny called tuck pointing. So what we have for that, believe it or not, is an old penny. So, penny roll tuck pointing, the way I like to do it, there'll be other people out there that do it totally different from me, but I like to do it this way. I put a straight edge in and I strike up a penny, which gives it a line. And you do the same with the other joint. You just put your penny and your straight edge together and you get that nice line. So you do the whole of the wall with it. Well, exactly the same. But the secret is you have to get that line right in the centre of that joint to do it correctly. Slightly difficult to do because I'm to one side of it so that you can see what I'm doing. normally have my face onto the brickwork, which would be a lot easier for me to do it. Again, straight edge down your perp. And again, we do all the perps first and then run the rest in. Once it's done and it's had a little while to dry in, again we get the soft brush and we just give it a very gentle little brush just to take any little burrs off, make it a nice clean tidy job. Well, there ends our little demonstration for today. Something a little bit different for the channel. I hope you people enjoyed it. This is no means explaining how to become a bricklayer. This isn't information for bricklayers. This isn't how a bricklayer would build a house. This is purely for you chaps and ladies out there that wanting to do a little bit of repairs, maintenance on their own Victorian Edwardian property. This is just to assist with that. Well, I hope you liked the video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. And please, please, please subscribe to our channel. These videos are going to get longer, they are going to get better, and they are going to become more informative on how to do preservation and restoration work on grade 2 and grade 1 listed structures, Victorian and Edwardian townhouses. Thanks again. Bye.